Okay, so welcome everybody for our third meeting. We just want to go ahead and start with a couple reminders and we'll hand it off to our guest firm today. Um, First of all, Mock Meet the Firms is going to happen next Saturday, September 19th. It's completely free for students. It's going to be via Zoom. There's a registration code, there's a registration link that we have sent out in our newsletter email. Please check your emails and register from there. If you can't view your email for any reason, you can always scan the QR code in this presentation and it will take you there. Our guest speakers are going to be RSM's Squire Milner and Ide Bailey. They're going to be talking about how to prepare for Meet the Firms. And we are going to also have a few mock interviews for you guys. I'm going to send the link of the spreadsheet for you guys to register in the chat after the presentation. Meet the Firms is going to happen on Thursday, September 24th. It's going to be via Handshake, so get your Handshake profile set and have a professional picture up. It's a great idea if you can attach your resume and official transcript as well. You can also view that through your CPP email in our newsletter, or you can scan the QR code and it will get you there. Student registration have officially opened and there's one-on-one sessions with all professionals that have signed up. So it'd be a great idea if you guys can get your sessions right now for time conflict reasons. Professional development, our next meeting is going to be next Tuesday. It's going to be during noon hour from 12 to 1. And our director of professional development is going to be talking about how to prepare for Mock Meet the Firms. So please be there. And our next social is going to be Wednesday, September 16th, and it's going to be via our Discord website. And we're going to be showing, I believe, a Disney movie. So join us on there if you haven't seen us in our first social. And for community dedication, our deadline is coming up for all those members to satisfy your community service hours. Please write a small letter for our medical staff and the first responders to appreciate them for all the work they have been doing during this COVID pandemic. And just send your letter to our community service director, Kiki Tsui, and that's her email, listed right there. Cause and effect of help us in fundraising for the club. Our first fundraiser is going to be at the end of the month in September 20th from 5 to 9, and it's going to be with the assistance of Chipotle. So if you guys go if you're around the area and you go to the Chipotle right next to campus between 5 to 9, show them the flyer that we have sent in our email, or you can just screenshot this or take a picture of it and send it to them. And when you show them, we get a percent of the proceeds. And if you don't want to go into the store, you can just order online and pick it up using the code listed on the screen as well. Another cause and effect, you can scan the QR code for a donation link that we have listed. The donation link is going to be only available until September 19th, 10 p.m. For membership, as we are still recruiting, just quick reminders that you have to be declared as an accounting, finance, real estate, and law, or computer information science majors. Your major and cumulative GPA has to be 3.0 and better, and you have to pass managerial accounting 2080 or 208 on the quarter system with a B or higher. And our membership fees are, if you're a returning member, it's going to be $65 for the whole year, $40 per semester. And if you're a first-time initiate, it's going to be $75 plus the $65 or $40, depending on your graduation. And once you submit your application, you can just go ahead and get approved. You can Venmo the money to our treasurer at this Venmo account. If you have any problems with that, please reach out to our advisor, Dr. Goma, and submit your unofficial transcript. Once he receives it, he'll approve you, and from there you can take your application and your fees to our directors of membership. And don't forget that the application is due on September 20th. These are amazing directors of membership this year, Abby, Alice, and Enrico. Feel free to contact them on their emails or their phone numbers. And if you have any membership questions, please refer to them. They are, experts on that matter. And we have a Bay Buddy program this year. I hope you guys all apply. It's basically a mentoring program where you guys shadow an e-board or a director or both to develop on your experiences, on your professional and personal growth. We'll pair you up with the best director for you. And there is, of course, an application for that. Scan the QR link or check your email. And I believe the application deadline for that is also September 20th. So would love to be, I love to be Bay Buddy with everybody here. And don't forget to follow us on our social media, LinkedIn, Instagram, and Facebook. And we also have a group chat. If you scan the code, you can get into the group chat and we answer questions. We send alerts out, so that would be great. And then Laura is going to take it from here.
Hi, everyone. My name is Laura, the president of CPSA. So we do have another social event coming up, and that'll be Friday, September 18th at U Hour. And it's a meeting, basically, if you have questions or concerns about Meet the Firms, the e-board and directors will be happy to share their experience and some tips for that. So for our membership process, you're going to be contacting our membership directors, Denise and Roanne. They're going to send you a fillable membership application, and then you just send it back to them. And our preferred form of payment this semester, it will be through Venmo. It'll be found on your form. And then for this whole year, it's going to be $60, and then for the semester, it's $35. If you are a Beta Alpha Psi member, you do get a discount. And then make sure to follow us on our social media as well. We are on LinkedIn, Instagram, and as well as Facebook.
And then without further ado and waiting, please welcome our guest speakers from RSM.
Hi, everyone. Can you all hear me?
Yes.
Great.
Yes.
Okay. I was just making sure everyone was awake and ready to go. Thank you all for having us. So my name is Salam Solomon. I am the senior recruiter for Las Vegas and Los Angeles. I'm originally from Georgia. I went to University of Georgia, and it was great hearing you guys. All these announcements took me flashback to my college days. So I'm going to get started with first dropping in the chat box. We have 3 links for you all. The first link is for you to sign in virtually with us, okay, so that we can have a record of you guys joining us today. And then the next 2 links are our e-brochures. We can't be with you in person, but we still want to provide you with that information so you guys have that handy. So I'll give everybody a minute or so just to fill out that first link, okay? All right. So again, just fill out that link for anyone who's dropped in, and you can save those brochures so you also have access to them after the session as well. I will drop in my email in the chat box momentarily so you guys can all connect with me on LinkedIn or via email as well. So first, we want to thank Beta Alpha Psi and the Society of Accountants for having us today. I'm going to start off with giving you a brief overview of RSM, and then I want to get straight to the good stuff. I know you guys want to meet with our amazing professionals. They're here today to share with you about RSM and really answer any questions you all have as you're navigating this wonderful world of public accounting, okay? So we'll get straight into who we are at RSM, okay? So RSM is the leading provider of audit, tax, and consulting services for the middle market. Just a few fun facts about who we are. We are located in over 87 cities in the US, and we also have 4 locations in Canada. Fun fact, we actually just opened an office in Alaska, and all of the recruiters are like volunteering to travel because why not? Why not want to go to Alaska, right? We also have global offices as well. And if you go to our website, you can see some information about how we've sent some of our US associates and partners throughout the firm to some of our global partners as well. So if you're looking to try to travel and whatnot, RSM has that as well, okay? Some of you may be wondering, okay, what exactly is the middle market, okay? So the middle market, over 200,000 organizations, 40 million jobs, a third of the private sector. You may be wondering, what are some perks? Getting to work directly with client leadership teams, and I'll let the professionals talk more on that. But getting to see a full entire life cycle of a project, okay? Getting that exposure from start to finish rather than just focusing on one niche. I had one associate once say to me, he really enjoyed that he got to actually interact with CFOs and CEOs. He didn't just do his assignment and then pass it on to another teammate, okay? Some of you may be wondering, what are some of the middle market clients? So a few of ours would include Build-A-Bear. Everyone heard of Build-A-Bear? Yeah, I see some smiles, great. Marquin's Beauty and Sunbum, just to name a few, okay? We pride ourselves in being first choice advisors, and what that means is we have some clients who utilize our services, maybe tax, audit, and consulting, and some that only go to us for tax, whatever it may be. We want to be that first stop and experts in that industry for our clients. So whatever industry it may be in, we want them to also come to us for that knowledge and expertise. I also put on here some of our values and our 5 C's, just a touch about who we are at RSM. We're really big on these things because these are not just things that we focus on for outside with our clients, but also with one another. I know personally, being relatively new to the firm starting in March, I was in the office for 2 days. We went straight to virtual. I got to see firsthand truly what teamwork was, and just being excellent within the firm, switching to a virtual landscape. And lastly, I did want to touch a little about culture, diversity, and inclusion. And of course, we have more questions, we can touch on that. At RSM, we really pride ourselves in everyone getting to be their authentic self. We welcome everyone and anyone. We have employee network groups. Any group you can think of, we probably have it. We have diversity summits. We have national culture and diversity events as well. So with that, I want to switch it over to our professionals for them to introduce themselves. I will just switch it over to Tiffany if you'd like to go first.
Hi, everyone. My name is Tiffany. I graduated from Cal Poly Pomona in 2017, and I've been working at RSM Orange County for the past 3 years in the audit practice.
All right, Matt, you want to go next?
Sure, yeah. Hi, everybody. Matt Tudor here. I am a audit partner with RSM. I work in the Orange County office, which is located in Irvine. Work alongside Tiffany, and sometimes we've been on some engagements before, but I'm proud to say I helped to recruit her from Cal Poly, and she's been fabulous. But I too graduated from Cal Poly. It wasn't in 2017, unfortunately. It was a couple of years before that. But anyways, yeah, happy to be here today and appreciate your time. Look forward to connecting with you all.
All right, Catherine?
Hey everybody, Catherine Wong here. I'm also an alum from Cal Poly. I graduated in 2012, almost 10 years now. I'm a manager in the risk consulting practice, specifically risk consulting, where it's technology risk and analyzing a lot of the clients that we do, and I do a lot of stock reporting. I actually transferred from assurance, working with Matt, and actually moved into consulting about 5 or so years ago now. And I'm going on 9 years with the firm in October.
Awesome. All right, and Edbert.
Hey everyone, I'm Edbert. I'm a tax associate here at the RSM Orange County office. I've been at the firm for over a year now. I'm actually a Cal Poly alumni as well, graduated class of 2018.
Great. So at RSM, we love to be engaging, especially virtually, because we know we can all get screen fatigue. I know you guys are doing classes virtually as well. So we don't want to just talk at you guys. We want it to be engaging. So before I start, because I can talk all day, clearly that's why I'm a recruiter, I want to first start and open up the floor to any questions anybody has as well. You can drop them in the chat box. So let's open up the floor. What questions do you guys have for them or for me or whomever?
I have a question regarding recruitment season.
Yeah.
I know it's virtual this year and everyone has kind of gotten a head start on it. Are you guys still accepting applications for first-year associates?
Yes. So great question. We are switching, of course, to a virtual landscape. Applications are all posted on Handshake, so you can definitely start going online and applying to those. Our application deadline is October 4th. And like I had mentioned, I'm going to go ahead and drop in my email in the chat box. So let's say you may not see something there, but you're interested in a specific start time or year, you can always chat with me and send me an email once you apply.
Thank you so much.
Of course.
I had a question too. I know that some of the big four firms are actually non-targets for CPP, but is RSM do they classify CPP as a target school?
So when we have our strategy for recruiting. Yes, we look at specific schools that we've seen one student interest in. And we also work closely, like you see, our partners to our associates and everyone in between to say, hey, what schools do you think we should go to? And also return on investment, of course. We look at that as well. But yeah, Cal Poly Pomona is a school that we've had great candidates come from, we'll continue to go to. We typically see students from Cal Poly either go to our Orange County office or our Los Angeles office. And so it's either me or the OC recruiter who works the events. Yeah.
Do you have any specific requirements that you guys require when applying towards a full-time job or an internship?
Mm-hmm. So on the brochure, it gives you more of a breakdown as far as requirements if you look at that. But as far as like for internships, you're typically looking at juniors for that. And we have winter internships as well as summer. And then for our full-time, of course, you have to have graduated. You don't have to have your CPA, but you do have to be CPA eligible. So you do have to have the 150 credits. Consulting is a little bit different. You don't have to be a specific major or anything of that nature or the credits, but we do see students have their 150 credits and sometimes want to transition and say, you know what, I want to go the consulting route. And so they'll still have those credits as well.
Just to add on that, only because a few of my board of directors know that I've been like confused on the CPA eligibility.
Mm-hmm.
I've been getting like two mixed answers to that. So a lot of people have been either telling me that once you get your bachelor's degree, that's your CPA eligible. That's what one of my professors told me. But then some people are telling me that no, you need the 150 credits. What exactly, to your firm, is the CPA eligibility?
Right. So we go by the California State Board. And if you send me an email, I can definitely send you the link because we are not the governing board. And so we cannot dictate if you're eligible. But I have seen some students graduate and they have their 150 credits done. And I do see some students who post-grad, they'll take some classes elsewhere. And again, professionals, you can touch on maybe your own experience from when you graduated. I wasn't an accounting major. I'm not good with numbers. So I'll be honest there. So it's different, but I would advise you to go to the California board, and I can email you that for sure. Oh, and then we had someone put in here, from what I read on the site, you need a bachelor's, take the exam. Yep. To get licensed, you need to hit the 150 units. There are specific units, and that's listed on the website. So definitely would encourage you to go to there.
Awesome. Thank you.
Of course. Any other questions?
You know what? I'm gonna just throw another one in there too.
Yeah, come on.
Go, Abigail.
If someone didn't meet the 150 requirements, would they apply under an internship first and then get the full-time job, even though they're graduating already?
So the internship is for juniors. You don't have to have the credits by then. It's for the full-time associate positions that you have to have it by the time you start with us.
Got it. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, Chris.
I have a question. Just based on your expertise, what kind of work experience does your firm look for in candidates? I know accounting work experience isn't required, but what translatable experience do you find most valuable in candidates?
Great question. I'm going to let one of the professionals answer. I want them to touch on what they look for candidates on their team.
I can take a stab at that one.
Yeah.
I think, like you mentioned, it's not a requirement that you have accounting experience, but I think it's really helpful to differentiate yourself in your resume from other candidates if you do have something. Even if it's not, in public accounting or an internship, if you've had experience working at a small business, maybe a small family business, keeping the books or maybe helping prepare tax returns through VITA or something else, anything that you can do that shows that you've been able to apply like the skills that you learned in school, and that you're able to kind of juggle responsibilities, that's going to really help to set you in a different kind of group, I guess, so to speak, when we're talking about comparing candidates and looking at resumes. So I always share an experience that I had as a Cal Poly student. I worked for one of my friends at a music shop, a guitar amplifier repair shop, and they needed someone to help do their books. So I did it. It was QuickBooks. I didn't really know exactly what I was doing, but I learned quick. And having that on my resume, was a really good conversation starter for the recruiters, right? When I went in to interview, it wasn't just the same kind of stuff. Okay, tell me about your intermediate accounting courses, or what did you do last summer? But something that was really unique and interesting, and just showed that that I was interested. I really was driven to apply the accounting principles I was learning at school, and again, it was a good differentiator. So I would recommend highly, if you can get any experience. It doesn't need to be a formal internship or anything that's real robust, but any kind of experience, particularly in accounting, that shows that you can apply your principles, it would be great. So
Very cool. Thank you.
yeah.
Anybody else want to add to
on
that?
To add on to what Matt said, also, it doesn't have to be like formal work experience, but maybe like you have stories from like group projects where, you stepped up, took the lead, or, something in your classes that makes you stand out as a candidate if you don't have that formal work experience.
Thank you.
Yeah, and to kind of echo Matt and Tiffany, we've had candidates where they don't list any experience at all, but more so experiences they had, for example, at clubs where they've conducted projects, or, for example, tried to be a part of an organization where they had a competition. And then that's also another conversation starter. So a lot of these are more so to show that you are eager to learn, that you are interested and passionate about what you're trying to apply for. And that'll just differentiate you from others that are also applying for the exact same thing and have the exact same background.
Thank you.
And what helped me was that I participated in the VITA program because I wanted to do tax, and that kind of actually like helped me to pretty much get the offer. It's having these like these opportunities to join these events or to participate in these things. I would say just take advantage of it. And also I also worked in like customer service. I worked in a Boba shop. Like I feel those little things, those little experiences, anything I hope, just make sure to have that on your resume.
Thank you.
Hi, I have a question.
Yes.
I remember earlier saying that October 4th is the deadline to apply. Is that the deadline for like summer internships, or the deadline for like full time as well too, or like
Yes, so that is our deadline. So all our positions that are listed on Handshake, all those positions you see, October 4th.
Okay, thank you so much.
Of course. Great questions.
Hi guys, thanks for coming out today. I just had a question in regards to CPE and mentorship at the firm and what that kind of looks like.
You want to touch on that?
And start for that one. Again, I'm in risk consulting, so I'm speaking to risk consulting for now. Every year, our firm has a national conference. Of course, this year we didn't have one because of the pandemic, but we do offer the minimum requirements that CPE is looking for all the units. For example, say you need 30 within a year, they provide you those 30, along with some other self-learning classes that you can take on your own as well. But this year, actually, since we did not have the conference, our office and our West Region risk consulting team kind of got together, put together some materials on our own, and kind of educated our own team in terms of the new hires, the interns, the associates that are still learning and grasping all of the experiences as part of a first and second year before they gain more kind of client work, client experiences that we put together ourselves and we submit to our learning program coordinators, and they kind of approve whether or not you get CPE or not. So we can have our self-taught CPE credits as well as firm sponsored, where we do have additional courses that are provided on our intranet, for example. And I think we've partnered with other CPE offerings that will be provided on our intranet as well, and you can take those at any time and all self-studies. So CPE requirements are definitely available, as many as you want to take to meet the minimum or even exceed the minimum. And then in terms of mentorship, when you do start with the firm, you're kind of provided a navigator to assist you with your day-to-day questions, kind of silly questions or really advanced questions even. They're there to be your buddy throughout the whole process, but you're also provided a career advisor. And your advisor will kind of pave the road and provide you that roadmap in terms of your career, kind of provide you some more guidance in terms of how to work towards the next level of promotion, for example, or provide you guidance in terms of what you need to work on to provide additional support and kind of achievements in terms of your current career goals or the current year that you're working in. And that's just a few tidbits, but yes, there is definitely a program in place for CPE and mentorship.
Well, thank you very much.
I'm loving these questions.
And I could just add to that a little bit too, Ryan. The mentorship kind of program and mentors in general at the firm are very important to the firm and to our people, right? We really take pride in developing our folks, our teams. And so, and I think one of the biggest differentiators the firm has, and why I've been with the firm for so long, I don't think I mentioned I've been here for, actually I'm celebrating my 16th year this month. So why I've stuck around so long is just has been the people, because you can do auditing and debits and credits anywhere, right? It's essentially, we're all kind of in the same boat as far as our the regulations and rules that we follow, but the people really make the difference, and the firm has really stressed that over my career, and just how important it is to mentor our people. And so I've had great mentors. I would encourage all of you to start looking to those, looking for mentors early on, right, in your college career, and just as life mentors, but particularly in your career in accounting. And I think our structure is such that it really focuses on making sure that folks get paired up with people that they're comfortable with, that you can talk to about your career choices, your personal decisions, about where you want to go with your career. If you want to try a different line of business, if you want to try a different industry. And so so we really want to make sure, and the firm does a great job of doing that, making sure that you're paired up with someone that's right for you. And so, and like we mentioned, right from the start, right? As soon as you join the firm and you start your first day, you're paired up with a buddy. You're also assigned a formal mentor, and then it's encouraged that you work with someone and select maybe somebody that you work closely with and feel more comfortable with going forward. So it's a huge thing. I can't say enough about how much how good it is that the firm places that emphasis on the mentorship, because it's helped me drastically, and I really enjoy now being able to work with others in the firm, from associates on up, and mentoring them. So it's a great question, and certainly it's an emphasis that we have at RSM. So
Thanks for the insight and the peek behind the curtain.
Yep.
Okay. Any other questions that come to mind?
Hi.
Oh yes, hi Samantha.
Hi, how are you? I joined in a little bit late, sorry. But what can we expect for like the first couple of weeks as a either new intern or like new associate? Like, how does the training process go?
Yeah. Edward, Tiffany, one of you guys want to touch on this?
Yeah, so your first, I would say, like couple of weeks at the firm, you're going to be doing a lot of like formal like video trainings and just like learning a little bit about the firm and getting that that knowledge out of the way. But I would say like towards the end of the month, or like the second month of your experience, it'll be more like hands-on learning. You'll get like live trainings, and also maybe even get assigned on some jobs. So it'll be more on the job, like after that first like 2-week introductory period. So I feel like that's what you would expect as an intern or a first year associate, what your first month would look like.
Yeah, and to go on with that, like I think I remember my first like few weeks was just watching videos and doing modules, all this stuff is just to like teach you and just like learn more about like the RSM culture and what they kind of expect from you. And for all the technical stuff, yeah, there's gonna be like a training, so you don't have to really worry about that. I think when I started my internship, there was like a 3-day weekend at the San Diego office that we had like a crash course on all like the software that we use. And then when I started full time, we had a week in Chicago that we learned like from the beginning to the end. Learning like using like a dummy template or like a example of like what a client gives you, and you kind of go on from the beginning to the end. For tax at least, like you get all the client information and to the end prepare the tax return at the end. So we definitely learn a lot, and honestly don't expect too much because everyone's learning as well.
I have a question.
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry. I have a question in regards, I was actually an intern this past spring, and I was wondering, do we have to go through like a little bit more training now because everything is remote? I'm honestly, I'm losing hope about us going back to normal anytime soon. So how are you guys dealing with like new incoming staff? Like we just went from an intern and we're going to come into staff, and I'm pretty sure there's a lot of changes, especially with a law too. So how are we coping with that? What are we doing for that too?
Well, one, don't lose hope. We never know. From an HR standpoint, I know that we are doing a lot of preparation as far as safety for when and if we open up the offices nationwide. We all just had to go through a training, a safety training, waivers, reading that, the mask being provided, the sign in, the sign out, things of that nature. And then as far as the virtual aspect, I know I started, like I mentioned, and then 2 days later I went virtual, and I was worried too, like, am I going to actually learn properly? Am I going to get to meet people? But I think if anything, it's challenged us all to just be there for one another, show that grace, and work closely together, because we're all figuring out, just like Edward said, even when you're a newbie. So we all had that kind of learning, curve, but we're still learning it. And I think it's also been able to show to our clients. For me, my clients are my schools, but it's, been able to show to them that we are flexible and adaptable. And I'll also let the professionals touch on how they transition to doing virtual work with their teams.
Yeah, I can actually give a little bit of a note in there. We had some of our new hires start just a couple weeks ago, and something to kind of welcome them. We've done like office happy hours virtually, obviously, kind of just get to know who they are so that they know who we are. We have like some trivia type questions that we do to kind of make it fun. And then also for interns that have already interned with us in the past, they already know who we are, but we kind of do some quick like notes / tests for them in terms of like if they remember who we are, if they remember what their first day was like, and so they share their experience to the new associates that did not intern. So we do have those type of happy hour or welcoming gathering type meetings to kind of onboard them internally as our office team member. But definitely all the HR measures are still in place. All the onboarding processes are still in place. And the office itself and the team itself can do something a little extra for you when you are hired on.
I think we had a question, when would potential target hire date be? I have enough units for a CPA exam, but wanted to use any potential gap to start taking the exams. First of all, I love that you're already thinking about taking your exams. So smart. It's never too early to look at that. So we typically will be doing our interview season will be October. Of course, it's going to be virtual this year. And then regarding start date, again, we have winter starts, we have summer starts, and we also have fall starts. Usually what we see is students, we'll ask them, what are you looking for? And we really, really try to accommodate what the student is looking for. Do accept what that's off.
You got a little
Prepare.
delay in your video feed, Salam.
Is that okay? How are we doing now?
Yeah, I think that's better. At least your audio was there. Your video seems to be frozen. Oh, I see Catherine. Can you hear me, Catherine? Okay. I can pick it up a little bit. So I think,
This is you, Matt. Yes,
yeah,
Salam, we don't hear you anymore.
yeah, we lost Salam, but we can, I can pick it up. I think so. As far as the timing goes, I think what Salam was saying was that it depends on the student and where, where you're at with things, with finishing school, obviously, and also obviously the need for the position as far as the timing goes. But a lot of times we can be flexible there, and obviously if you've got your um, things you need to sit for the exam done and you've got some time, then we would definitely encourage you to take the exam if that's the path you're taking to get your CPA license. It's a great time to knock a couple of those sections off if you have like a summer or a few months ahead of your start date. We definitely encourage you to do that. Start studying for the exam and try to take a couple of those if you can, just to get them out of the way, because once you do start, like you've heard today, there's a big learning curve, right? As far as like the software goes, we don't expect folks to know the whole tax law when they start, or all of the codification. So we expect that you have a good understanding of accounting, and then in your general line of business. But then when you come in, you're going to learn most of what you do every day on the job, right, and through our training. So don't be too nervous about that. But again, I would just spend the time getting that exam out of the way. So
Thank you.
Looks like we have another question.
It might have just been some background noise.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, everyone. I'm back. I apologize about that.
No worries. Thank you. We covered for you.
Great. I figured that's what you guys do. Thank you.
Any other questions?
I'm not sure if it's still in the group.
I actually had a question. I wanted to hear from the professional. Sorry to cut you off. I had a question regarding work-life balance. I know that I feel like I wouldn't enjoy a job making work 60 to 80 hours a week. So I just wanted to hear from you guys about your work life.
First of all, I don't think any of us wants to work 60 or 70 hours a week. So I think like we just need to speak up. If you think you're being overloaded, communicate that to the team, because we all just want to work normal hours as possible. So if you're feeling like you're overwhelmed, or you may need help, or something like that, you should just definitely communicate, because we don't want to work 80-hour weeks. We don't want you to work 80-hour weeks either. So just communication is key, so that we know how to appropriately assign resources and just make sure that no one is working that much.
Okay.
Yeah, I think, Tiffany, you said, you mentioned something about communication. I think that's key, right, with a lot of things to our business, but certainly when it comes to your workload, and as a new associate, entry-level associate, it's a little, as far as like your assignments and clients that you put on, that part of it's a little out of your control, but certainly when we make assignments, we're making them at a reasonable rate, and making sure that people aren't given 80 hours of work in a week. So that certainly shouldn't be an issue as a first year associate. Going forward, as you're taking on more work, and you're in charging things, and you have more clients under your belt, that's where the communication really comes into play, because it's really up to our people to, like Tiffany said, speak up if you feel like you have too much on your plate. Or sometimes it goes the other way, where you find yourself in a lull. Maybe a client's not ready, or you wrapped up a job early, and you don't have much on your schedule for the next month, and you want to reach out to our scheduler to see what see where you can get plugged in to help other teams out. And so it kind of the workload ebbs and flows. There are times where we have deadlines on tax or consulting or audit where we have to put in some extra hours to get it across the finish line. And then after that, we celebrate and take a day off or whatever. And so that's always nice. But I think it goes back to communication, and also to, going back to our mentorship and our advisor-advisee relationships, and making sure you have a good relationship with that person, in addition to your in-charges and schedulers, just to make sure that, if you feel like you're being overwhelmed with work, you have that outlet. You have someone to go to say, hey, you know what, maybe this, Jane didn't know I was working on 5 other jobs, and so she put me on her job, and now I've got 6 and I don't know what to do, right? So it's just, key to have those folks that you can talk to comfortably about your workload and your work-life balance, because because we're all in the same boat. None of us wants to work more than what we need to, and we also, it's very important that we have those outlets and time with our family and friends, and can step away from things, right? So we're definitely big encouragers of folks owning their future. In fact, that's part of our HR program, where we keep our goal setting and things. So we really put it on the individual, right? You can do whatever you want with your career. You can take it to the next level as fast or as slow as you want to. And we're here to help you and provide tools and training and opportunities. But it's also on the person, the individual, to make sure that they're taking advantage of that, and taking advantage of opportunities, and speaking up, and letting us know where they want to take it. So that's all I had on that.
All right. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Really good answer. Thanks.
Yeah, of course. No problem.
I was going to say, let's jump back. I think Abigail had a question. She said it got lost in the chat. Abigail, can you restate your question?
Yeah, it was actually Alice's question. She was asking if we can apply for winter summer internship positions if we're graduating in spring 2021, but need an extra year post-grad to reach CPA units.
Yes. So regarding that, we do look at candidates case by case. Typically, we're looking at juniors, but we're looking at when you'll be CPA eligible. So if you still have that 2 years or 2 summers as we look at it, then yes. We've even seen some students graduate with their undergrad, but then maybe go back, get a 1-year master's, or they're going to community college to get those other credits. So they do an internship in the meantime, for sure. Great. And then let's see here. There was Danya had a question about flexibility for the firm of those who want to work from home, such as new mothers, someone who's out of the country. What are their options? How would busy seasons affect them? I mean, we're all working from home right now. I have not been a new mom, but I have heard of some even partners, some associates and whatnot who have made that transition or a big life change. They are able to adjust their hours. I actually have a partner I'm thinking in mind. She works certain days and certain hours on certain dates to still get her hours complete, but she worked with her supervisor to say, hey, I really need this day off. So to me, I would say RSM is very flexible in that sense. And again, I'll let the professionals touch on that in Orange County, or stories you've heard of, or even personal examples.
I actually worked during busy season directly with the first year associate who was a new mom, and she was just like, working from home, and she communicated with that ahead of time to the team. So we were able to work out a schedule where she would only work on client work 20 hours for the week, and then the rest of the time could be flexible, to take care of her home life. So going back to communication, just communicating your needs, we try our best to work around that.
Yeah, and to add to that, I'm actually expecting in December, and so I've set time aside with our scheduler, for example, to make sure we have a plan in place, communicated that early so that there are no fall-offs in terms of projects, making sure that when the partners and the teams that I'm working with are getting into that phase where the project is going to start or for example, end, there are backups in place where I am going to be taking maternity leave off. And so for those communication items, I think that's key in terms of what Tiffany has mentioned. And the firm will have measures in place that would help you adjust to your schedule or find someone that will help take over your schedule, for example.
All these congratulations are coming in. We're having a virtual baby shower right
Thank
now.
you, everybody. Appreciate it.
Awesome.
Catherine, that's the second announcement I've heard today of RSM
Oh, really?
folks that are expecting. Yeah, Sam Laham is expecting in November, so, or his wife is, I should say. But so that's exciting. Congratulations, and I'm really happy for you.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
I think, I mean, just to reiterate, yeah, the firm is definitely, going back to work-life balance. We definitely take that serious, and that extends to, whether folks have needs outside of the firm or out of the workspace to take care of family or to pursue other efforts. We certainly understand that, and in many situations we can have folks either take time away or actually go into a formal flex plan where you're working maybe a reduced schedule to accommodate other needs outside of the office. So again, yeah, a big part of it's communication, and but certainly we understand that, and we want our folks to have that opportunity and availability to do those things. Because at the end of the day, that's going to make you more fulfilled and in meeting those work-life goals. So,
yeah, awesome.
Yep.
And even recently, I did a crash course on some new benefits or benefits that they've been revamping. There's some assistance for those who have to provide daycare, or maybe they have an elderly parent or family member at home and they need some assistance with caring for them. The firm has provided some financial assistance there. They've rolled out ClassPass. They're testing out a new one that I'm currently in like a little trial run for called Gym Pass. So we want that flexibility for you to have a life outside of work. We have fun in the office, but we also know we want you to have fun outside of your team so that you can bring, we want people to feel fulfilled. So like Matt said, because nobody wants to work with someone who's always tired and doesn't like their job, So we'll go into the next question. What would you say are 2 or 3 aspects of your company's culture that you appreciate? Anybody want to start it off?
I missed that question. Can you repeat it a little bit?
Yeah. What would you say are 2 or 3 aspects of your company's culture that you appreciate?
Well, I can start real quick. I think it's the valuing of our time in work-life balance and understanding that that we have a life outside of the office. So I think that's a huge part of our culture. And I think just teamwork would be my other value that I think really stands out. Especially, on the audit side, we work in teams all the time, whether it's internally with our own folks or whether we're out at a client site working with clients, which is one of my favorite things to do, to be out at clients. So it's been really hard during COVID to be stuck on a laptop and talking to my machine all day. But I really like that emphasis on teamwork at the firm, and very similar to what you're doing at Cal Poly. I know there a lot of our courses were based around group projects, and so I think developing those skills, being able to be a team player, and maybe even step up as a leader on those teams, those things really will help you out in your career at RSM. So that's my 2 cents on our values.
For me, it's our culture of mentorship. Even though I have like one formal career advisor, one formal mentor, I feel like I have like 2 or 3 other informal mentors, and I have a support system backing me. And I feel like we're all different people, and I can go to different people for different questions, and everyone just makes me feel really comfortable. So yeah, I feel like the mentorship value is really like ingrained in our culture, and that shows.
Yeah, I would have to agree with the mentorship as well, just because my career advisor, like I would always contact him whenever like I had too much going on or anything, and he always let me know like if you have anything, just contact me, just let me know. So I think it's a sense of like care from the ones above you, especially when you're starting as a associate. You have so many questions, you know, you're so like overwhelmed at times, but they'll really help you guide you through with everything that you're doing. So I really love the care. That's like the number one thing with what RSM does.
I have a question. How do you guys stay motivated during this virtual time that we're in right now and like not feel bogged down like with all these meetings and Zoom calls and stuff like that? Like what makes you guys motivated for work?
That's a good question. For me, I think participation is key, like participating in, the office events that are not work related. Like, for example, for charity, we're doing like ice bucket challenge, and you just basically you get nominated and you submit a video of yourself like with ice water getting poured onto your head. A lot of people are kind of like shy. A lot of people I talk to are kind of shy in participating, but I personally submitted a video, sent it to the whole office, and got some good feedback, and that was really fun. But just like participating in like little events like that, or like Matt is hosting a bingo night next week, it really puts you in a mindset to, participate in, like just keep yourself going in this virtual space.
Yeah, I'd also want to add to that. In the beginning, when we were all stuck at home, there was a competition for the office to show what your workspace looks like. I think the winners had like their workstation of a standing desk with like toilet paper, because back then toilet paper was like
that was me.
Was that you?
That's right. It's a hot
Because
commodity.
toilet paper was a hot commodity, and getting creative there. So submitting these pictures of your office space was definitely a big thing in the beginning of COVID. But yeah, like Tiffany mentioned, Matt is hosting a bingo night. There's the ice bucket challenge. There's like various happy hours or lunch with your partner kind of thing where you kind of just all eat lunch together. Some of those things are happening on the back end other than work.
Mhm. Yeah, probably a lot of practices that you all can put into place too while you're stuck on online courses and studying all day. I find it just helpful just to go for a walk or do something active. Just step away from all the calls and the WebExes all day or Zooms all day. So just to give some space in there, peace of mind, and take a break. So that's kind of what I've been doing. But yeah, you're right. It can become overwhelming pretty easily when you have back-to-back calls, or like I said, you're spending your whole day talking to your laptop. That gets pretty old pretty quickly. So anything you can do to break it up. I've got two young kids, so they whether I like it or not, they do a good job of keeping me distracted and breaking up my day. So so that's been a lot of fun.
And that's been very helpful. Thank you for your advice. So
Yep.
I think we lost Salam's video recording, maybe? I see you on video, actually.
Did we lose Salam?
I think we might have lost her audio.
She had mentioned in the chat that she's having Wi-Fi issues with her audio.
Oh, bummer. Her audio's gone out. Okay.
Yeah.
Any other questions from the group? Looks like some folks are having to log off to get onto a 1 o'clock class. So that's okay. But if there's other questions, I think we have a few more minutes.
I have a question. I know how like a lot of us are very excited to like start our career like full time in accounting, that you encourage your employees to grow, or like if they want to learn more or something, to like so they're not like just done, they can continue learning.
Can you repeat your question, Allison? I think your video froze for a second there.
Oh, okay. I don't remember repeating. I was just wondering, like, because a lot of us are very eager to go into the career full time. What are other ways that once we're in the field that you guys continue to encourage people to grow in their career? Like, are there like additional trainings and like such? What do you guys do at RSM to encourage that?
Well, when you start at the firm, every single year, you're supposed to have a set of goals that you work with your career advisor to set. These could be like, I want to get better at public speaking, or, I want to participate in networking events or things like that. So every year we set those goals, and whatever you feel like learning, like I want to work on a specific section of the audit, like that could be one of your goals. And we just you work with your career advisor and try your best to make a plan for you to meet those goals. So if there's anything that you want to try, like for example, my first year I wanted to participate more in like public speaking events. So my career advisor worked with me to just like lead training. So I was able to get that experience because I spoke up, said I wanted to get better at public speaking. So the goal setting every year, that would be my answer to that.
Yeah, I think part of the reason that I love public accounting and I love RSM is because of the many different opportunities we have to continue to develop as people and as individuals and to learn from others. And so I think if you ever find yourself bored, I'd be surprised, because there's just always a ton to do. And if you get tired of one industry, like say you come in and you start working on banking clients and you want to try something else, there's several industry specializations that we have in Los Angeles and in Orange County that you can work on and ask to be on different types of clients, so that you can kind of broaden your skill set in those different industries. And then like Catherine can demonstrate or has demonstrated, some folks get tired of auditing, although I can't imagine anyone would ever get tired of auditing, but it's happened before once or twice in the history of the firm. And Catherine, as one example, actually transferred over to a different line of business and got into consulting. And so we always encourage folks to look into that too, right? And we actually have done some formal programs where folks can go from auditing into tax, or vice versa, or into consulting from tax, to kind of see what those different lines of businesses are, how they might fit with them on their skill set or their personalities, and maybe it might turn into a long-term career change. And so there's a ton of opportunities to continuously develop and grow as a person, and also to grow within the firm, right, and to get promoted. So I think we do a lot of that, and again, a lot of it's on the individual, right? Well, the firm has many opportunities, and we want to support you in your endeavors, but a lot of it's going to be up to you too, to kind of raise your hand, or to ask for help, or to ask to try different things, right? So it's a great platform for that, for people that want to learn and grow.
Yeah, definitely to echo Matt, my personal experience, I just had to actually just voice my opinion in terms of what I wanted to learn and exceed past just assurance. And the firm was very supportive. They know that you are an investment as part of their employee group, and they want to make sure to keep you happy, for example, to support you in your developing career path, and put you on a schedule or a career roadmap in terms of where you want to go or where you want to get to in terms of excelling your career and making you happy at the firm.
Awesome. Thank you for answering the question.
You got it. Anything else before we conclude?
I have one more question. Hi, my name's Brent.
Hey, Brent.
So I'm not sure if accounting is something that I'm interested in necessarily, as far as like my career path goes, but I definitely, after having taken a couple courses, I find it interesting and I like it. But after college, I don't know if I necessarily want to pursue that right away. I'm interested also in possibly joining the military when I graduate. So let's say I stepped away from this path and I came back later on. how would your company view someone in that situation or circumstance? Would they be viewed as being more or less desirable without necessarily having experience in accounting?
That's a good question. I would just say the firm definitely values diversity and folks with different experiences and different backgrounds. So, if you stepped aside, and I know we've had folks do this before, or we've had active kind of people, active duty or reservists that are called to go away and come back. And of course, we would support that. But I think, as if you had gone off to do a long-term internship or something else after college, or, a lot of folks do religious things after school or at a certain time in their life and come back to the workforce. And so yeah, we value that as a firm. I don't think anybody would look at that as a negative. I think it'd be more of a positive, right? And just and again, just kind of looking at what you would bring to the firm, right? Different experiences, different opinions, different views. I think those are all huge assets with our people. And again, our people are our biggest asset, right? That's essentially what makes up our firm. So I think of that as only a positive. And so I don't know if anybody else has any other comments on that.
Yeah, I've actually worked with another team member that is in the reserve. And so, like Matt said, we support that they are helping and serving, and we let them kind of perform their service. And then when they come back, they kind of just continue on as if they haven't left. But scheduling and communication wise, everything is sorted out in terms of preparing for the leave. And when there are hires in terms of people coming from the service, they're treated as if they were any other candidate. They're providing their experience. They're given the same type of questions. No one is really pointing to any negative or specifically positive areas. You guys are all kind of put in the same boat, and everyone is, as long as you can show your eagerness to learn, your interest in the firm, and your passion for what you're trying to pursue, then everyone is going to be accepted in that way.
Mm-hmm.
Great, thank you.
All right.
Very good.
I think we still lost Salam, but I think we're a little bit over time.
Yeah.
Okay, well, anyone else have any more questions? If not, you can feel free to reach out to any one of us.
Yep. And please sign up for the interviews and make sure you get your applications in by October 4th, I believe is the cutoff date. So anyways, we appreciate all your time and interest in the firm, and wish you all luck with school this semester, now that it's on semesters at Cal Poly, and look forward to connecting with you all soon. Thanks for the
Thank you,
time.
everybody, for attending. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah, we'll turn it over to you. Sorry.
No, we're good. I'm just saying thank you for your attendance. It's greatly appreciated. I'll go ahead and end the meeting. And I don't know if you guys would like to drop your emails if anybody would like to reach out to you before we end the meeting.
Sure. Thanks, everyone.
Happy to do that.
Thank you, guys.
Feel free to add
Thank
me
you
on
very
LinkedIn
much.
as well. You can reach me on LinkedIn.
Yeah, I've seen a couple come across already. That's great. Please add me.